The story of Marcus Rashford's impending move to Barcelona is unfolding like a carefully choreographed dance, with each step revealing just enough to keep the world intrigued. At first, we heard whispers through the grapevine, rumours of negotiations, hints of agreements, but no one could quite piece together the full picture. Now, with each passing day, new fragments drop into place, like puzzle pieces clicking together, bringing the grand design into focus. And although we can expect more confirmations from the usual reliable voices in the football world, what we already know feels substantial enough to paint a vivid picture. What are these core details that everyone's talking about? Let's dive in, and stay tuned, because there's more to come that could turn this narrative on its head. It all began when Fabrizio Romano, football's equivalent of a leaky faucet in a quiet room, let slip the pivotal news. Barcelona and Manchester United had, in fact, reached an agreement in principle for Rashford's transfer. But this isn't a straight sale. No, it's a loan deal. A kind of temporary arrangement with a twist at the end. Barcelona borrow the player now, and if, when the loan period expires, they choose to make the partnership permanent, they can simply pull the trigger on the buy option woven into the contract. Imagine writing a cheque but stashing it in your pocket until you're certain you want to commit. Barcelona gets to do exactly that. And as every fan and skeptic knows, having that power of choice is worth its weight in gold. Could things change? Of course. But for now, this is the script everyone seems ready to follow. Unless someone decides to improvise. Here's where the plot thickens, in Barcelona's favour. Not only have they negotiated a loan, but they've also secured terms that practically wink at their accountants. Reports mention especially favourable clauses. Think of them as secret discount codes sprinkled throughout the fine print. And what's fascinating is the central role played by Rashford himself, the 27-year-old winger, who has made his name thunder across Old Trafford's stage, agreed to trim his own earnings to make this dream move possible. Picture a champion athlete willingly handing back a slice of the cake, so that a club with colossal ambitions can taste victory even sooner. It's a concession that speaks volumes about Rashford's desire to don that Blaugrana shirt, but also about Barcelona's financial juggling act in this turbulent economic landscape. If that doesn't tug at the heartstrings of anyone who cares about the game, what will? But how much will Rashford pocket once the ink dries? That's where Ben Jacobs steps into the frame, delivering figures that set pulses racing. According to Jacobs, Barcelona and Rashford agreed on a gross salary of around €10 million for the season, before taxes and after the pay cut. And that number isn't a flat fee. It's peppered with bonuses designed to reward performance. Goals scored, assists delivered, perhaps even appearances made, each one unlocking a little more cash. Teasing out that structure feels like counting the rings inside a tree. Each bonus layer tells a story of expectation, reward, and pressure to perform. When will those bonus triggers spark? Only time will tell, but the promise of extra millions certainly adds another layer of drama to an already enthralling transfer tale. Meanwhile, the financial machinery behind this swap is humming with efficiency. Barcelona will shoulder every cent of Rashford's agreed wages, paying him in full for the months he spends in Catalonia. Manchester United, despite having nurtured the forward since his teenage breakthrough, will step aside from the salary negotiations. In a gesture that underscores the seriousness of this operation, the Red Devils wash their hands of any fiscal involvement. It's now a matter strictly between Rashford and Barcelona. Two parties locking eyes across the negotiating table, ready to script the next chapter together. What does this mean for United's payroll and for their plans in the transfer market? We might not know right away, but one thing's for certain. This move says plenty about each club's priorities and the lengths they're willing to go to achieve their goals. Yet the human element remains at the centre, and no one brings that into sharper relief than the coach tasked with melding these pieces into a winning formula. Enter Hansi Flick, Barcelona's new manager, whose singular, resounding demand for this summer was plain and simple. Bring me a left winger. Nothing flashy, nothing vague, just a concrete position on the field that required reinforcement. It's a mark of Flick's clarity of vision and his willingness to stick to a plan. Now, with the prospect of Rashford adding pace, power and flair down the left flank, motivation courses through the Blaugrana camp. Will he slot into the system seamlessly? Can he rekindle the kind of form that lit up Premier League defences? These questions hang in the air, buzzing like a charged crowd before a big game. And it feels as though Flick's summer wish list has found its crowning jewel. As the final whistles blow on negotiations, all eyes shift toward Barcelona's upcoming pre-season tour in Asia. Imagine the scene. The team boarding a plane under the warm glow of anticipation. The roar of new and old fans mingling in the terminal. And in the centre of it all, a player fresh to the colours, eager to prove himself. Rashford is expected to travel with the squad, offering Flick his first real chance to observe the English forward in live action, away from the filtered world of training ground highlights and tactical reports. Will he adapt to the sweltering heat and the jet lag? Can he build chemistry with teammates who have trained together all summer? The tour promises a spectacle, but more importantly, a live audition. Every touch, every sprint, every connection will be scrutinised, and every moment could signal either a bright beginning or a sobering wake-up call. So here we stand, on the brink of an exciting new era for Barcelona and for Marcus Rashford alike. The contours of the deal are sketched out, the sums have been whispered, and the strategic chess pieces have been placed. Yet as any true fan knows, the script isn't truly written until the final whistle blows on the season's first La Liga match. Will Rashford flourish in the shadow of the Sagrada Familia? Can he etch his name into the tapestry of Catalan football history? The answers await just beyond the horizon. Are you ready to see how the story unfolds?